Hey guys, it's been a while. I know I haven't posted in about 4 years. So today I'm going to teach you guys how to run the Ansible 8 STIG from DISA. Um, some prerequisites before we kind of start this little test lab. I will be using VMware Workstation Pro 17. I believe you could get this for free now. Just go ahead and Google that to download if you want to follow the same thing I'm doing now. Like, I don't know if you guys want to test this in your own personal lab, whether you're using a virtual machine or physical or something else. I'm going to be going a little bit fast in this video, so feel free to pause the videos to kind of watch what I did. I'm going to assume that you have some basic Linux skills, and also I'm going to show you where to pull the downloads from, and then we're just going to do it all together at once. I'm going to try and do this all in one go. So if I go a little bit too fast, which I know I speak a little bit fast, just pause throughout the video until you can follow. So I'm gonna go ahead and get things started. So the first thing you want to do is go to the public cyber.mil STIG website, and where you want to go is once you get to this public cyber mil, you want to go to the STIG area here, and in the document library, you want to type in Red Hat 8. I've already installed Red Hat 8. I have the ISO I just pulled from Red Hat. I just downloaded the Red Hat. The latest I think is 8.10. So you're going to be downloading basically this one, the STIG, and then you want to download the V1 R, I guess V1 R revision 13, and then also download the Ansible one. The reason why you want to download all three is because we're going to be doing a quick look at the STIG after we actually run the Ansible playbook. And some other things you want to download is the STIG Viewer. You want to download this one, the latest STIG Viewer 3.4 for Linux, and we're going to use this to run the viewer, to basically run the checklist to view the checklist of the Red Hat 8 STIG benchmark. And then to run the scans, I'm going to be using the latest SCAP compliance checker for Red Hat 8. So I have this one. So I'm going to download SCC 510 for Red Hat 8 Oracle for the x86 64. I already went ahead to download that, and I already brought this into my guest VM. So here it is. So you can tell, I downloaded this earlier, and I pulled basically the STIG viewer, the SCAP compliance checker, and the benchmarks and the Ansible itself. And I'm going to be starting from scratch, so we can do this together. The first thing I want to do is basically, I guess, run a scan to check where we're at. And then what we'll do after that is run Ansible to see how, I guess, what percentage of hardening it does, just based off the Ansible that they provided. So now I'm going to unzip STC. Okay, now that I unzipped the SCAP compliance checker, I'm going to view it. So I'm going to go change directory to SCC. And then I'm just going to go in here and just basically, should I untar it? You know what? I'm just going to untar this, XVF, SCC. I don't really want to install it just out, so I'm just going to untar. I like running this as executable, or even from the command line. So I'm going to run this right here, SCC. I'm going to CD into this SCC here. And I like using the command one because I'm being a little bit lazy right now because I put the GUI. A lot of times when you work in the enterprise, you're not going to have this option. So so this is why I like to run this tool. So this is the command line SCAP compliance checker. So I'm just going to run this executable. I think it's this command. Okay, I'll click enter, and I'm going to load the one, and I'm going to run. When you select the SCAP content, it's basically self-explanatory. But you could basically just leave them all checked. It's gonna know what's applicable. So obviously I'm on a Red Hat 8 system. So if you leave all of them checked, the Red Hat 9 is just gonna error out in Red Hat 7. And whatever is on here, like Firefox, which I do have, it is gonna work. So I'm just gonna leave them all checked because just to show you what happens at the end. But if you want to just uncheck it, feel free. You just follow the instruction here to basically clear whatever you want. So I'm just gonna click 0. I'm just checking everything right now. And profiles don't really matter. Sometimes you could select profiles depending on the Mac. Since this is my test instance at home, I really don't care. So I'm just gonna put Mac 3 public. So I'm just select 10, just in case. And I'm gonna select for all profiles, enter, and then go back to press 0 to go back. And then I'm basically gonna press 9. This is basically going to exit, save changes, and literally just perform the scan from all the applicable benchmarks. So I'm going to click 9. So this could take a while. I'm probably going to come back and edit this video just to skip to the end because I think this could take about 10 to 15 minutes depending on your computer. There's a lot of files. It's going to be scanning directories for this STIG. Likely, I suspect it's going to be around 30-something% defaulted from the Red Hat 8 install. And then later on, after I run the Ansible, I think it's going to be around like 78 to 80%. We'll find out soon. So I'm going to leave this running. Yeah, while we do this, I guess I could also show you guys how to run the STIG viewer real quick. Let's see where I'm at. I'm gonna also install the STIG viewer. Unzip the STIG view. I actually haven't used this one in Linux, so I'm about to find out. Okay, now that I unzipped it, let's go to it. STIG viewer. Let's see what's in here. Okay. I'm not sure what this is. What is this? Is that a file? Okay, that's just the executable. Okay, let me just point to the benchmark. So I haven't used this newer STIG viewer. I think we're on 3.4 now. So we're gonna go in here and basically upload the latest STIG, which is STIG 14. And then we're gonna use the SCC results to basically import all the colors from the latest. I think it's V1R13. I'm gonna select this first. And then I'm gonna create a checklist. And then I'm gonna save this into my computer. And I'll just create I guess I could just create a folder real quick. STIG checklist. I'm just gonna name it Red Hat 8 STIG checklist. And later on, what's gonna happen is we're gonna import the results. And I think I'm trying to figure out how we do it. Okay. When the scan finishes, all we have to do is import this XCCDF data. And then this thing will all be color coded all at once. This could take a while. I haven't done this in a while, so I can't remember how long it takes. I think it takes about at least 20 minutes to run a full scan. Okay, we're back. I had a little bit of computer problems because I was installing Red Hat 9 at the same time. So my computer kind of got corrupted or something. So now that the scan finished, you should see the actual HTML file in one of your directories. So I'm going to show you where that's at. It automatically creates this SEC folder by default. If that's where you configured it, but especially if you didn't change it, that's where it should be. So I'm going to just go into it. And then it could be in your sessions. So we're going to go to the latest session folder. And then we're going to go into the latest, it's going to be categorized by the latest, I guess, date. So if you run another scan, you're basically going to see another directory. We're going to go in there. And then if you really want to view this, you basically want to open to view this HTML file. So Fox CC. So I'm just going to type Firefox. Let's just view what this thing shows. And out of the box, Firefox, we're basically getting a 0. And out of the box, we're showing a 39.48. I know during the ISO boot, you have a chance to basically select a STIG profile. I end up just not selecting anything. So you can view the non-compliance right here. If you just select non-compliance and just view the report. And the goal is to run the Ansible to basically automate as much as possible. And then of course there's gonna be some manual STIGs left. Let me go back into the STIG viewer. I'm in the SCAP. Open another session. Actually, you know what? I'll show you guys that. Let's just go straight into the STIG. To the Ansible, I mean. So I'm starting from scratch. I'm gonna unzip the Ansible. 13 Ansible. And then you should see a folder right here. And then before we get into it, I think there's gonna be some prerequisites. You can actually go in the folder to read this PDF. So I'm gonna pull up on my other screen. The instructions are pretty simple. You literally just read this, and just go through the process. You can read the background, but I'm gonna skip to the good parts. So the first thing we need to do before we actually run this playbook, you just follow this exact command. So actually, before we get to it, let me go back into it. I actually have I have this installed already. Wait, let me just go in here. Actually, my VM's connected to the internet. I'm only doing this for a lap, so I'm probably gonna destroy this host right after I'm done. Just like yes. Okay. And then what else is there? And then you're gonna just follow the instructions right here. Just paste it in there. You know, sometimes I forget. I try to run the playbook and I always forget that I don't have Ansible installed, like an idiot. Don't make that mistake. The instructions, basically what's going to happen is once we extract this file, we're going to just do something simple and dumb because we don't care. If you're doing this in a real world environment, you might not want to run this whole thing without testing it. There's ways where you can turn off items that you know are going to break the box, like FIPS, for example. Sometimes like boxes don't like FIPS. I'm basically going to chmod this file and literally just run it as an executable, and that's it. And this basically takes less than like 15 minutes to do. So one of the requirements is install Python 3 when you do this Ansible package, just like yes for all. I'm just gonna click continue, yes. If your virtual machine or whatever you're using to pull in files and packages, you might want to create a local repo if your box doesn't have access to the internet or to the outside world. You can Google how to do that. I'm not going to really go into it since I'm lazy. Okay, now the Ansible is installed. You should be able to just type in Ansible, and there you can see that it's installed because this shows up. So now we're going to follow exactly from the instructions that I said. We're going to unzip this file, and then we're going to chmod to make this executable and literally just run it, and then we'll run a rescan to see where we're at. So I'm going to ls. I'm going to unzip this. I'm going to unzip RHEL file, then ls, and then where am I looking at? Okay. Roles. Let me see. Just look at here real quick. Okay, we're going to roles. 8 STIG. Okay, maybe I should have moved that folder somewhere else. I have too much files. Okay, then force.sh is here, but it confused me because it actually extracted the file somewhere else. Let me move this to another directory to separate this so I don't get confused. Let me go back. I'm gonna make a directory called RHEL 8. Ansible. You can make whatever folder you want. I'm just gonna make this directory, move that file to it, move that zip file. So view. So I'm gonna move the RHEL 8 to basically the folder I just created. So let me do this again. Okay. So now from the instruction, you see this file. I'm gonna chmod this to make it executable. Chmod plus X and then enforce. Now it's gonna turn green. What I'm gonna do is basically sudo, and then I'm gonna run that script. You do have an opportunity to edit the YAML files in the playbook if you want to turn stuff off and on. You can read how to do this right here in the instructions. It tells you just to basically put false, and you could change whatever you want. I'm not going to go into there because this is like I'm going to go just out the box, just run whatever DISA provided. So I'm going to execute this, and literally this is running. This could take about 10-15 minutes. And then what we're going to do is run a rescan once this finishes. And at the end of this, you should see what's going to error out. And this is basically what DISA provides. And everything else, you'll just have to either ChatGPT or manually review the STIG to finish up the rest of the manuals if you want to get it as close as you can to, 99, 100% or 90% plus. So I'm going to let this run for about 10 minutes or 20 minutes. and we'll come back to it, and then we'll see where we're at and run the rescan, and then we will import that SCAP results back to the STIG viewer to see what the final actual true score is to the actual Red Hat 8 STIG provided from DISA. So I'm going to pause. Hey guys, now we're back. The playbook ended up finishing after I ran the enforce.sh script. So as you can tell, it changed about 167, and I think 220 were okay. And I think it skipped 4. So I didn't see anything failed. So this is how you basically run the Ansible playbook directly on the local host. I'm not going to be setting up any Ansible control tower and going anything more advanced. This is like if you need something quick and you have a standalone Linux box or you're building an image, you want to just like maybe use this just to quickly run the Ansible. This will take total of less than probably 15 minutes from start to finish. And then the SCAP compliance checker to actually run the reassessment scan, or if you want to use a nested scan to run the scan policy against it to see what passed, you could do that too. So now that this finished, we got to test it out and run. So we're going to run the SCAP compliance checker, what we did earlier, to basically assess the state of the current STIG hardening after the Ansible playbook. So now let's go back to earlier. I'm going to go back into the SCC directory. CD, which one is it? SCC, click tab, go back in here, go back in this same folder. And we're going to run the command line SCAP compliance checker again. So sudo run as executable with the config option. And I think I did this earlier, but you could just make this faster instead of turning everything on and letting it air out. Just clear this earlier. You might have had them all selected and just select number 5, Red Hat 8. So if you're doing this for any other RHEL 7, RHEL 9, you could just ensure those are selected only. It really doesn't matter, again, like I said earlier, but I'm just doing this so I can just skip over it. Click 0 to go back, and just literally just click 9. So again, this could take about 15, 20 minutes. It's going to be scanning all the directories to assess the state of the compliance after the Ansible. I think it might take longer because now that we hardened everything, it's probably going to check what it did. And we'll come back. I'm going to pause the video, and then we'll come back when the scan's complete. Okay, what you can do now is you can either open this back up from your Windows or Linux. Just run the executable, the STIG 3.4. So earlier I added this. So I'm going to open the STIG back up. So I'm just going to select it again just to start scratch since my computer kind of shut down. So I'm going to select this benchmark. I'm going to create a checklist. And what we want to do now is basically import that XCCDF file. So earlier, from my export, I should have that files folder right here that I exported. I extract it, and when you go into the same session folder, you finish the CSCC scan. You go to results, gap, XML. Just drill all the way in and look for the XCCDF, and then complete import. And as you can tell here, everything just went color coordinated. And if it's green, that means automatically from the SCAP, it'll tell you what passed. So if it's green, it's not a finding. And if it's red, like this, you can just filter through and just double click. And based on the SCAP, this was actually not done. So to fix it, all you would have to do, it tells you right here how to fix it. Some of these are manual checks. You'll just have to go read them to actually do. To not extend this video any longer, I'm not really going to go one by one and finish the rest of these. You can just go here and just filter these and then just work through them. Like if you see these like grayed, that means it's not checked. The SCAP compliance tracker wasn't able to actually scan against this. That means you'll have to go in here to actually manually check it yourself. And you can do that by reading any of the check text and just running these commands. And then to implement and fix, you just read exactly that. Sometimes that could be editing a config file, or other times it's just something simple where you just copy exactly what they put and just like paste it in there. And then you'll just have to manually input it. And then you could just update the comments here that you fixed it. And then that's it. And I hope this helped. That's it to this video, and just proceed with caution if you're just gonna do what I did. Again, I did not test anything. I just ran the default Ansible playbook, and that's it. So you might not want to do that in the real world and actually go through to see if it'll break your system. That's it.